Well, good morning, everyone. And how are you? And once again, welcome to another live this morning. And hope you're having a great start to your day. And we appreciate if you can come on live. Let me just hook up here. And when you get your notifications, we'll say hello. I don't know what happened to Facebook, but I see your name, Andrea. Niagara Falls, Sandy, right back at the top from Fergus Falls. And there's our mayor, Kevin, Lynn from Aurora, Rosalinda from Niagara Falls, Tina, Nova Scotia, Norma from Texas, Lisa, good morning, and Brahim, there you are, my friend. How you doing? Okay, cold Niagara Falls. Well, it's cold in Sudbury. Bonnie, Little Britain, Fran, Orangeville, Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia, and Sandy from Chilliwack, British Columbia. We love you guys. Gloria, how are you? Wanda from Ridgeway, good morning. Danny Lay, Iron Bridge, and Dave from Cardiff. Diane Thunder Bay, how are you? And Marla from Oregon. Wendy is on with us from Markham. Madeleine from Kippawa, Quebec. And John from Elgin, Illinois. How are you, John? Marl, Connie, how is you? Denise from Oakville, good morning. Dennis from Norwich. Bruno, how are you, Bruno? Bon matin à toi aussi. Patricia, Francis from Vaughan. Patricia is from Florida. Karen, Peterborough. Faith, Saskatchewan. Dave, Muskoka. Nellie, how is you? Diane from Peterborough. And Sandy is in the clouds already. Yvonne, Petawawa, Janice. I don't know anything about clouds. Deb from Harrow. Arlene, good morning to you. We love you. Ornella, how is you, Ornella? And John says from Elgin, Illinois, that he's good. That's good. It's freezing outside, isn't it? Well, I don't know where you are, but here it is. Donna, Newfoundland. Patricia, we love you. Nativity, me. How are you, Nativity? I often miss your name, eh? I don't understand why. Gail, Lucille, and Sue from Bolton. April, Kathleen, where's Yolande? I'm waiting on her. And Brahim is saying hello to Marla because you're both in Oregon. Millika from Stouffville. Patricia, Catherine from Newfoundland. Carol in the clouds, in the snowy cloud. Lori, Cambridge, good morning. And we love you guys. Cindy, how was you? Eh? Cecilia, enjoying Dr. Martin's perfect smoothie. Isn't it perfect? Okay, guy. Hi, Dave. How is you? And I'm going to say hello to Doc McEwen, but her kids said exams. Who knows? Wanda, Leah, and Grace from Newfoundland. We love you out of Newfoundland. You know that. And Sandy, 57 degrees in Vancouver, Washington. Carol, Lori from Alberta. Dave, minus 14 Celsius in Muskoka. It's cold. And Patricia's saying the weather in Florida is warm. Well, and Sharon saying very nice in Kansas. Okay. Jeanette, there's Jeanette. How are you, Jeanette? Love you dearly. Bonnie, Joni, and Elaine. Guys, Maureen, how could I start my show without saying hello to you in Boca Raton, Florida? Mara, Heather from Miramichi. Heather, I was waiting on you. Carol, Wasaga Beach. Meta, how are you? I better get going, guys. Hi, Rita. Darlene, I'll never get going if I don't. Okay, now, Okay. Let me bring you a couple of studies. We didn't quite finish the 10 reasons guaranteed to make you sick. We went through 2 sessions, so I figured, well, that's enough. Okay. 2 new studies. We'll talk about, hold on a minute. 3 new studies that I got. We'll talk about that. Okay. Listen to this. Looking at a meta-analysis, okay? So when you have a broad spectrum of studies and they put them together and they look at all the studies, it's called a meta-analysis of the studies, okay? So when they look at the studies on heart disease, okay? This is just came out. I saw it yesterday. So this is hot off the presses, guys. Listen what they're saying. This is significant. I don't think it'll move a needle even a bit, but it's out there. Here's what they said. Diabetes is a much bigger factor for heart disease than cholesterol. Okay, let me repeat that. Diabetes is a much bigger factor in heart disease than cholesterol. Hello? Yes, for sure. Now, let's say you've been with me the last 50 years. Okay? I'm trying to think of any of you have. Maybe a few. Okay? Right from the beginning of my journey in practice. Okay? And you guys know me. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, or whatever, right? I've been around a long time. I've been writing books for a long time. I've been consistent about this for a long time. And that is, cholesterol is not the boogeyman. I'm sorry. I get asked every day, 7 days a week. If I bump into people, my old patients, emails on Q&A, Fridays, Q&A Mondays, Q&A any day. I get asked about this because it's so ingrained in medicine. It's so in their DNA. It's so in their craw that they can't move from it. And like I said, I don't even think this study of all the studies is going to move people because they're so entrenched, and I talked about this a million times. Anyway, but this is significant because what they're saying is what I have been saying for a long time. And that metabolic syndrome is much more important as a marker for heart disease than cholesterol is. By the way, I don't dismiss cholesterol because I actually want your cholesterol to be high. If it isn't high, you're in trouble. Medicine tries to get it down. I want it up. Okay? I want it up. I want the opposite. But what they missed the boat on is diabetes. And guys, listen, you type 2 but diabetes. Type 1 diabetes, by the way. Very dangerous on the heart too. But type 1 diabetes is the pancreas isn't working. It's an autoimmune disorder. Okay? So put that over here for a minute. What kills your heart is sugar left unattended in your blood vessels. More than anything else. Not salt, not cholesterol, sugar. And we have a whole new dynamic now. Medicine really should have been turned on its head when the John the Baptists were trying to scream out, insulin, insulin, insulin resistance. When your cells resist insulin. And the only reason that happens is because you use insulin way too much. And our society is exactly that. You and I were never meant to consume a boatload of sugar, which we do, okay? The population in North America it's crazy. And yet it's right in front of us and they don't see it. They don't see it. A few cardiologists have seen it. Guys, what they're saying is here, the biggest factor for heart disease, not cholesterol. So it's not eggs. It's not meat. It's not dairy that's got cholesterol in it. It isn't that at all. It's sugar and things that turn to sugar rapidly. Bread, pasta, rice. I used to do this in the office. Bread, pasta, rice, cereal, sugar, sweets, pastries, juice, milk, muffins, bagels. I give them the list real quick. All of that stuff are sugar molecules holding hands. And what's going to happen is sugar can't be left unattended. Your body's dedicated to getting rid of it. It's dedicated to it. It means business. Insulin means business, guys, because insulin is the traffic cop. And it won't go away. If someone insists on eating and living off carbohydrates, sugars, your body has no choice. Because your body, again, fearfully and wonderfully made, and it knows. Sugar, the whistle. I should get a whistle to be a traffic cop. Come here, sugar. You just had a piece of bread? Oh, Dr. Martin, it was 12 grain. I don't care. What's that got to do with anything? Well, my doctor said. My dietitian said, I gotta have grains. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't need a grain. And when you eat grains, that's the size of your brain, a grain. No. Think about what we ate 100 years ago. Okay? I'm not saying we never had any bread, but it was homemade. Today, it's processed. There's no nutrients in. They have to pour nutrients back in. They use different flour. It's not the old-fashioned rolled. Now it's different. It's processed. It's the first. Bread became the first fast food in the late 1800s. They changed it. By the 1920s or whatever, they fortified it. Why? Because it had nothing in it. They said, we better put some vitamins in it. You know, the Bible says man shall not live by bread alone. I could live on bread. I love bread. But it don't love me. And it don't love you. Because it turns to sugar too rapidly. And now insulin's got a job to do. The traffic cop said, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. I've told you the story of 20 donuts. This is a true story. Research. Give a person 20 donuts. Don't do it. It's already been done. You don't have to play the game. But they did it. Eat 20 donuts. Blood sugar spiked to unbelievable levels and rapidly. But within an hour, the blood sugar was back to normal. Why? Body's dedicated to getting that blood sugar back to normal. Why? Because if you got sugar left unattended in your bloodstream, it will kill your blood vessels. That's the first thing it does. It destroys blood vessels. So sugar destroys blood vessels. And when you eat a lot of sugar, your kidneys hold on to fluid. And that'll elevate your blood pressure. Not salt, sugar. Sugar holds on to salt. But that's so key, guys, when they come out with something like this. And listen, you guys know this. 93% of the population has trouble with a sort of pre-diabetic condition called metabolic syndrome. Because, guys, you can't become a diabetic unless you have insulin resistance, where your cells are so tired of insulin coming around like a bad neighbor knocking on the door of your cell. Open up. I need parking spots. The liver's full. The muscles are full. I gotta find more cells, especially fat cells. I need to put sugar in there. So fat cells. We need more parking spots. That's how your body operates. And when you get metabolic syndrome, 93% of the population have it. That is destructive for your heart. And now science is bearing it out. I wrote a book. My son and I wrote a book in 2011 at the 100-year celebration of the Martin Clinic. Okay? We wrote a book. 2 hormones that want you dead. Serial killers. Cortisol and insulin. And guys, I can tell you this. My practice, it was a huge paradigm shift in my practice. I can tell you, because I couldn't get over the difference in insulin. And the way I like to measure it, and it's a good way, you can get your fasting insulin tested, for sure. Doctors, they're reticent to do it. But I like, guys, that you can get all the information you need if you look at your A1C. Okay? Don't look at cholesterol. Well, wait a minute. I'll rephrase that. Yeah, you look at cholesterol, but look at HDL. Like, people sometimes, they talk to me and, you know, they're trying to send me stuff. And, you know, guys, listen, the reason I don't individually do it too much, I can't. I'd spend the whole day We got 4 million downloads or more on these podcasts. And that's why I wrote it when I wrote the book Sun, Steak, and Steel. I told you, okay, how to interpret A1C, how to interpret, if you want to look at your lipids. It's so confusing, right? When you get blood work done and even for doctors, they think they know everything. They don't even look at half the stuff. Unless it's flagged for them, they don't even look at it. But I want you guys to look at it. Take out a little marker and look for these things okay? Because it'll tell you everything you need to know about whether you're on the Titanic or not. Whether you're part of the 93% or not. And most of you know this, but of course we have new people, and not only today, but we will have new people that we never see on a daily basis because they're not on with us live. I mean, we only have a small audience live. Do I love that? Well, I love you guys, so of course. But, before the morning is out, we'll have near 10,000 people that watch this. Okay? Because it's shared. And then the podcast, people listen to podcasts. They get on their radio, their smart device and whatever, and they listen to podcasts. And they listen to the doctors and podcasts. So hallelujah, good for you. So here's some teaching. Get your A1C. Why? Because it tells you if you're into insulin resistance. If you're above 5.4, 5.4 is the marker there. I actually like it lower than that, but 5.4, if it's above that, you're on the Titanic. Okay? So just don't fool yourself. Don't say, well, that's not me. Yeah, it's you. And then I give you the other markers because when you look at your lipid profile, very complicated. Why is it complicated? Because that's medicine. It loves complication. It likes big words. You see, you go back go back 400 or 500 years. This has been going on for a long time, guys. Medicine always had in their head, you're a lay person. You don't know. Me, doctor. Me, God. Thus, Latin. My teachers in high school tried to convince me that I needed Latin. You're going into medical school? You need Latin. I hated Latin. But you see, it's all part of me, doctor, you're not. And doctors don't want to do podcasts. The College of Physicians and Surgeons don't want doctors doing podcasts. They don't want you to know. Me, doctor. You, layperson. What do you know? Why are you questioning me? Look, I know there's good doctors, okay? I know there is, okay? I'm talking in generalities today. But it's so important. We're reading something here. We're taking a study that is so significant. It is such a paradigm shift from what every physician in the universe gets taught and have been teaching to the world. Cholesterol causes heart attacks. And from day one, that has never been true. One person, I've told you the history of this, one person. It would be like Dr. Oz, or who else was a famous doctor, okay? And one person, after President Eisenhower had a heart attack. That was big news, guys. 1955, I believe. I was 3 years old. Do I remember? No. But he had a heart attack. He dropped in the sand trap, playing golf. And Dr. Ansel Keys said, I know why that happened. Cholesterol. He's got high cholesterol. And thus, the food industry got involved. No more butter. Better have margarine. No more bacon. Better have cereal. No more eggs, or very few. They couldn't completely get rid of eggs. They would have liked to. But no, you can have one a week. That was the food industry. And then the pharmaceutical industry said, cholesterol, we better spend our energy, our money, our research. Let's find a medication that will lower cholesterol. And they did. Statin drugs. And they did. And they made it the number 1 selling medication of all time. What did I tell you the other day? 92 million Americans take them daily. Global sales of statins, $92 billion annually. And, the meta-analysis studies, looking at all the studies, and they look at, okay, you took statins, and what did that do for you? Did it extend your life? No. Well, maybe a day or two. What? And they're being very conservative. They said, well, the benefits do not outweigh the risk of side effects, see? Now that's buried, but it's true. The side effects of statin drugs are legion. And they made LDL cholesterol the bad guy, the boogeyman. Are they good at it? Oh, jeepers, they scared the living life out of people. There ain't a cardiologist that, you want to have a heart attack? Imagine you're sitting in a doctor's office, and especially a cardiologist, and they said, you want to have a heart attack? Well, of course I don't want to have a heart attack. You want to die? Nah, not particularly. Well, you listen to what I'm telling you. That's intimidating, guys. You think they're good at it? And they believe it. It's religion, man, to them. Guys like me, Dr. Martin, he's a quack. Like, what would you listen to him for? He's a nutcase, a nut bar. Yeah, I'm a fool, all right. But that's what it is, guys. If you understand that, you understand how cholesterol became the boogeyman. You just have to read history and understand what they did. And one guy, Ancel Keys, and he repented on his deathbed, by the way. He cooked the books. Multi-millionaire when he died. He cooked the books. But you have an industry. Food, fat-free. You know, what I call the saturated stupidity. Saturated fat. Like red meat, saturated fat. You know what that does to your arteries? It clogs them. Eggs clog. See the yellow? That's clogging. It's fat. And fat was vilified. I watched it, guys. There's some advantages to being old like me. Okay? I seen it happen. I watched them do it. And now they say, oh, by the way, diabetes. And you know me, guys, because diabetes is the last thing that happens to a person. You know, you hear the diagnosis of diabetes in my office, for example, okay? Because a lot of people, they didn't like to even hear it from me, but I said, well, you're a diabetic. What? I didn't like that. But I used to tell them this. I said, you know how long this has taken? Insulin has been around in your body, knocking at your cells' doors for way too long. And the reason is because you bought the lie. You're a carboholic. Put your hand up. My name is Tony, and I'm a carboholic. Okay? And sometimes what I did in the office, I didn't even, well, of course I did blood work and all this and that. Of course I did. But sometimes I could see it, you know, like you could see insulin resistance all over them. They had skin tags. And I thought, nah, you're a diabetic. What? Nah. The ship has sailed. You're diabetic. You're on the Titanic. Okay? And they didn't like that. Aging prematurely. Well, glycation. I said, really? You're diabetic. Diabetes, I said it yesterday, is an allergy to carbs. It really is. Insulin has come knocking so often that the body said, you know, insulin, I'm so sick of you. I hate your guts. You're my worst neighbor that I've ever had because you come every day. You knock on my door every day, says the cells. And they're tired of it. That's insulin resistance. And the next step is when insulin doesn't work anymore. And you get the diagnosis from the doctor, you're a diabetic, and then they put you on a pill or many pills because they want to manage it. They don't want to fix it because to fix it means, hey, you're a carboholic, stop. Sometimes I was very abrupt. Put your hand up. You're a carboholic. Repeat after me. And stop it. You want to have a heart attack? That'll give you a heart attack. Because it destroys blood vessels. Where do you think plaque comes from? It's not from cholesterol. Cholesterol, yeah, for sure cholesterol's in your blood. Of course it is. Go down the highway and see if you see any Amazon or whatever trucks that you see on the highways. And go down the highway and you don't see any trucks on the main highway. You would go, holy smokes, what happened? Has the economy stopped? Well, cholesterol's in the delivery business. Okay? It's in the delivery business. How do you think you get your hormones delivered? Cholesterol. They have a wagon, and then they got a second wagon on the back. Okay, you ever seen those transports that have 2 trailers? The second trailer is to pick up the debris, to pick up the triglycerides. How did your triglycerides get high? You know, I don't even want to look at cholesterol unless you send me your triglycerides. I know it's simplistic, guys, but everything else, in my opinion, your triglycerides and your HDL. Okay? Triglycerides and HDL. It's insulin. Triglycerides are made when your liver is full of fat, and fat comes from sugar. Fat don't come from fat. Fat comes from sugar. And when the liver, the Costco parking lot is all full of sugar turned to fat, the body says, okay, let's get rid of some of this and make some more parking spots. And they send triglycerides, 3 fat balls into your blood vessels, and that clogs them up. It's food. It's food. But we have industry that run the world. You guys know this because I tell you this all the time. The industry that runs the world. Big pharma, big food. Big pharma, big food. Big food, big pharma. They run the world. They run the world because they own the politicians. So any legislation, I just give you a little tidbit. They hate Kennedy because he's asking questions. They don't like that. The Americans and Canadians, we're the same, okay? So when I say Americans, because I got American statistics, they spend more money on health, so-called healthcare than anywhere else in the world. Canada being right at the top. We're with them per capita. And we get the less bang for the buck. We're the sickest, North Americans are the sickest people in the world. It's true. Big food, big pharma. You think you're going to beat those people? No, you got to do this yourself. You got to get educated. Okay, I've been pontificating enough this morning. I try to keep these things to 30 minutes, but sometimes they get off on tangents and I can't help myself. Okay? Now, what's tomorrow? Q&A. Q&A. Okay? So, do we have fun on Fridays? You bet your boots we do. We have lots of fun on Friday. Okay? Now, I seen many of you have got your books. Okay? Rebuild Your Temple. Numero uno, already in Canada. Thank you. We appreciate it. You're going to love that book. Not too late. Christmas presents. The book. You'll love it. I mean it. Okay. Q&A tomorrow. Send your questions. I don't think it's too late. info@martinclinic.com. That will get your question on live. Isn't that great? You become famous. Okay, guys. Talk to you soon.